Welcome to ARDEX Answers podcast, where you'll find the latest and greatest on flooring, tiling and waterproofing, as well as general construction for the Australian building industry.
Welcome back to ARDEX Answers. I'm Monique Fenech from ARDEX, and joining us today is Chris Brady from ARDEX. Welcome, Chris.
Happy to be back again.
Chris is our Technical Services Advisor at ARDEX, and today's podcast topic is heavy tiling and cladding limitations. So let's kick off to our first question. Chris, what would you class as a heavy tile or wall cladding system?
So with your heavy tiles, look, there's two ways of thinking about it. It can either be a very large tile that obviously with that amount of material is quite heavy, or you can think of it in the way that individual small tiles, but they're quite thick, quite often cladding like stone systems. Heavy stones generally. If a piece is about 4 kilos or more in a single piece, I'd kind of deem that in the heavy sort of system. Overall, when it comes to limitations for adhesives, etc., that's where you're more looking at an overall average of about 32 kilos a square metre or higher.
Okay, so we're talking limitations today. So with these heavy cladding systems, what is the most limiting factor for their installation?
The biggest thing to look out for is actually what the substrate is capable of handling. The adhesives have to go through testing where, look, if you converted their MPa strengths of how strong they need to be in order to resist a pulling force, they're going to exceed basically whatever they're bonding to if they're compliant with Australian standards. It's the substrate and how much it can actually handle. A lot of sheet substrates, even if fixed at smaller like 100 mil centres, is maybe getting around the 32 kilos a square metre, which is similar to what we've also got for like a rendered brick wall. So around that 32 kilos, as I mentioned before, with that heavy tile, that's where you start looking at it as it being a risk. There's a few particular substrates that are designed to handle heavier loads. Number one, properly prepared concrete. You can go up to 60 kilos a square metre. Or there are specific manufactured sheets by companies like BGC or James Hardie that are designed to cope with things up to about 50 kilos.
Okay, so everyone should just refer to the manufacturer's technical advice on that with regards to weights and so on. So what do you do if the substrate isn't designed to take that sort of weight? And you've got the tile, oops, what happens?
So, look, if it's a situation where you realise that before you've done anything, if you've gone ahead and you've tiled and it's above the substrate limitation, you've got to take it down, safety reasons. If you catch it early on, look, ideally if you can change the substrate that can handle that weight, obvious way to fix the problem. Otherwise, what you can do is you can supplement the adhesive by using, say, like a mechanical fixing method. Those can come in the form of either like a mechanically screwed in aluminium rail, an angle, which the stones can then also rest on while the adhesive's also doing the work. Just takes a bit of the pressure off the adhesive and that interface layer with the substrate. And so you can have rail systems, there are clip systems which grab onto the corners of the tile itself. There's a few different ways they can do it.
Okay, so you can get around it.
Yep.
Okay, great. Are there specific requirements for how these mechanical fixings need to be installed? So what's involved in, if you get to that point and you have to do this sort of thing, what do you advise?
If you had to get to that stage, number one, if it's anything that's above about 3 metres in height from the floor that's currently in the area, we always recommend and require that mechanical fixings be in place. So 3 metres in high. Even if it is a light tile at that point, for a safety perspective, we always try and put mechanical angles, etc. in there. In terms of positioning of those angles or the support systems, it's something that really a structural engineer should be contacted about, because they've got a better understanding of the weight capacities potentially of the concrete mix that's been used, how heavy the load of the tile system is, and how far apart they might justify spacing those individual rails or clip systems.
Well, I think this has been a really technical podcast and something that, there should be some more reading materials. Like we said, the manufacturers, technical data sheets, and obviously getting in touch with an engineer if it gets to that point. And obviously they can call you guys on the hotline for some advice.
Happy to help.
Oh, well, thanks for joining us today, Chris.
Pleasure to be here.
And bye for now.